They said no mortal could match the gods. But they never met Wonder Woman. In one universe, she was the champion of Themyscira, peacekeeper, warrior, and daughter of Zeus. But in another, a cosmic force had rewritten the rules. This wasn't Earth. This was Battleworld, a planet forged from the shattered remnants of the multiverse. Every world, every timeline, every hero and villain, forced to live under one supreme power. Dr. Doom, now a god himself, ruled this patchwork reality like an iron monarch. Each region of Battleworld obeyed him or perished. But on one fateful day, a rip appeared in the sky. A golden light tore through the clouds, bright, radiant, and divine. From it descended the princess of Themyscira, armor gleaming, lasso glowing with truth. Wonder Woman had arrived. At first, Doom thought it was an anomaly, another broken fragment from a dying universe. But this wasn't an accident. Someone, or something, had summoned her. And as Diana landed upon the scorched earth of Battleworld, she sensed it too. This world wasn't alive. It was stitched together, unnatural. The air reeked of war, and the cries of countless souls echoed through the winds. She looked around. A desert of bones stretched for miles. In the distance, two armies clashed. To her left, warriors wearing the armor of Tony Stark. To her right, soldiers bearing the spider emblem of Peter Parker. Iron technology versus spider agility. And in the middle, innocence caught between. Diana clenched her fists. She didn't know this world, but she knew war. And she knew injustice when she saw it. She leapt into the battlefield, sword drawn, shield raised. Her arrival was like a divine storm. Bullets shattered against her bracelets. Repulsor beams ricocheted off her shield. The armies halted, not in fear, but awe. Who are you? One soldier stammered. Her answer was simple. I am Diana of Themyscira, daughter of Hippolyta. I fight for peace. But peace was not a word Battleworld understood. Within moments, the ground trembled. A blinding flash of green energy erupted nearby. And emerging from the dust was the Maestro, a future version of the Hulk, twisted and tyrannical. So, another goddess joins the war, he growled. Let's see how divine you really are. He lunged. The impact was thunderous, enough to shatter mountains. But Wonder Woman stood her ground, pushing back with godlike strength. Sword met rage. Power met power. For the first time, Battleworld witnessed something it hadn't seen in ages, hope. As they fought, Doom watched from his throne in Castle Doomguard. His mask reflected the chaos below, but his thoughts were calm. This woman radiated power unlike anything from his creation. She wasn't a fragment of Marvel's broken worlds. She came from beyond. How curious, Doom muttered. He turned to his prisoner, the Molecule Man, the being whose power maintained Battleworld itself. Tell me, Owen, what happens when a god from another multiverse steps into mine? Owen's eyes flickered with fear. She doesn't belong here, Victor. If she stays, she could unravel everything. Doom's metal fist clenched. Then we must test her resolve. Meanwhile, Wonder Woman stood victorious over the Maestro, his massive form unconscious in the crater below. Around her, silence. No one dared approach. But one figure did. A woman cloaked in red, eyes glowing faintly, the Scarlet Witch. You're not one of us, Wanda said cautiously. And yet, your aura feels like mine. Old magic. Ancient. I am no enemy, Diana replied. I seek only the truth of this world. Wanda hesitated, then gestured for her to follow. There's much to see. But tread carefully, goddess. Doom watches all. The two moved through the twisting realms of Battleworld. They passed through Doomstadt, where mortals worshipped their ruler as a deity. Through the Deadlands, where zombies roamed under a perpetual storm. And finally, through the Shield, the massive wall that separated the known realms from chaos itself. Along the way, Wanda told her everything. About the collapse of the multiverse. About how Doom stole the Beyonder's power. About how he remade existence itself. And Diana listened, silently, intently. Her warrior's heart burned. A man playing God. Worlds enslaved under one will. It was everything she stood against. Finally, they reached the edge of a broken citadel. Inside, A hidden group of rebels plotted in secret. There, Wonder Woman met faces she recognized from the stories of another reality. Reed Richards, the Black Panther, Miles Morales, and Captain Marvel. They stared in disbelief as she entered. "You're not from here," Reed said, scanning her with his device. "Your molecular structure doesn't even register in this universe's physics." Diana smiled faintly. "I may not know your science, but I know tyranny when I see it. Tell me, Richards, how do we stop Doom?" And that's when everything changed. Reed looked at her, not with suspicion, but with hope. "You can stand against him," he said. "Your presence alone disrupts the balance of his power. You might be the key." But before they could plan further, a thunderous boom tore through the sky. Lightning. But not just any lightning. Mjolnir crashed through the ceiling, followed by a shadow. A familiar one. Thor descended, eyes glowing with Doom's power, his armor inscribed with runes of servitude. "The goddess of war," he boomed. "Our Lord Doom summons you. Kneel, or fall." Wonder Woman's hand went to her sword. Her voice was calm, but her spirit burned. "I bow to no tyrant, not even a god." Thor's hammer sparked with fury. The air ignited. And as their weapons clashed, the world trembled again. The goddess of truth versus the god of thunder, two divine beings bound by honor, now divided by destiny. But neither would retreat. And in that single moment, Battleworld felt something it hadn't since its creation: defiance. The war of gods had begun. The moment Mjolnir met Diana's sword, the sky split open. Thunder screamed. Lightning tore through the ruins. Every soul within miles felt the pulse of divine power. Thor struck with all the might of Doom's blessing. But Wonder Woman was forged by gods older than Odin himself. She caught his hammer with her bare hands, bracers flashing with Olympian fire. For a heartbeat, they were locked in perfect balance. The world held its breath. Then the ground exploded beneath them. Thor was the first to recover. He swung Mjolnir again and again, every strike carving shockwaves through the air. But Diana moved like lightning made flesh. Every block, every counter, perfect, until she found an opening. With a flash of gold, her lasso of truth wrapped around Thor's wrist. The Thunder God froze mid-swing. Her voice was firm, commanding. "Tell me, son of Odin, why do you serve Doom?" Thor's eyes flickered with confusion, then pain. The truth forced its way to his lips. "Because he remade me. I died in the final incursion. He resurrected me as his weapon." His words were heavy, and Diana saw the torment behind his divine fury. He wasn't an enemy. He was a prisoner. She tightened the lasso gently. "Then be free, brother of thunder." The runes on Thor's armor shattered like glass. The light in his eyes turned from green to blue. He fell to his knees, gasping, and for the first time in ages, he remembered who he was. But freedom came at a price. High above, in the throne room of Castle Doomguard, Dr. Doom rose from his seat. His voice echoed like rolling thunder. "She defies me and frees my servants?" He turned towards Sue Storm, standing silently beside him, his queen in this twisted world. "Summon the Cabal," Doom ordered. "Tell them the interloper dies today." Moments later, portals tore open across Battleworld. From them emerged some of the most dangerous beings ever assembled: Apocalypse, Ultron, Enchantress, Namor, and the dark sorceress Morgan Le Fay. Together, they formed Doom's personal strike force, the Cabal of Dominion. Their mission: destroy Wonder Woman. Meanwhile, Diana and Thor stood atop the broken citadel with the rebel leaders. Reed Richards was already analyzing the energy readings from their battle. "She's destabilizing the molecular fields of this entire region," Reed said, awe in his voice. "Her power doesn't just challenge Doom. It's rewriting the laws that bind his reality together." Black Panther crossed his arms. "Then Doom will come for her." "Let him," Diana said, her tone calm but resolute. "If he is the tyrant you describe, then I will strike him down myself." Reed shook his head. "You don't understand. Doom's power comes from the Beyonders. He holds the very fabric of existence in his hands. Even the gods fall before him." Diana looked out toward the horizon. Her eyes glowed faintly with divine light. Then it's time the gods learned what justice truly means. Before Reed could respond, the ground trembled again. A swirling vortex of black mist enveloped the ruins. From it stepped Morgan Le Fay, flanked by Ultron drones and the looming figure of Apocalypse. "So this is the intruder," she said, voice dripping with venom. "I can smell Olympus on her." Ultron's mechanical eyes scanned Diana. Anomaly detected. Non-native divinity. Termination required. Thor raised Mjolnir beside her. "Over my dead body." Morgan smirked. "As you wish." In a flash, the Cabal attacked. The battlefield erupted in chaos. Thor clashed with Apocalypse, each blow shaking the earth. Ultron unleashed a swarm of drones, forcing Black Panther and Miles Morales to fight desperately beside Captain Marvel. And in the midst of it all, Morgan Le Fay targeted Diana directly, unleashing ancient sorcery that twisted reality itself. Dark vines of magic wrapped around Wonder Woman's limbs, pulling her toward the ground. But the Amazon's will was unbreakable. With a roar, she shattered the spell and charged forward. Sword met sorcery. Each swing of her blade cut through Morgan's illusions. Every word of Morgan's magic met the indomitable truth of Diana's spirit. Finally, Diana's lasso lashed out, binding Morgan mid-chant. "Tell me who sent you," Diana demanded. Morgan hissed, struggling. "Doom sees all," she spat. "And soon, he will end you himself." Diana pulled her close, eyes burning with defiance. "Then tell him I'm coming." The Cabal retreated, their forces shattered. But as the smoke cleared, Diana could feel the shift in the air. Doom was aware of her power now, truly aware. Reed approached, visibly shaken. "You just painted a target on your back." "Good," Diana replied. "Let him come." The truth doesn't fear tyrants. But even she didn't yet realize the scale of what was happening. Far beyond Battleworld's atmosphere, the cosmic energies that bound this false planet together began to fracture. Her very presence, her divine essence, was unraveling the delicate threads that held reality in place. And far away, in a hidden realm where the remnants of the Beyonders' consciousness lingered, something stirred. A faint, echoing whisper. The foreign goddess has entered the weave. That night, as the rebels regrouped, Diana stood alone on a cliff overlooking the wastelands. Thor approached quietly, setting his hammer beside her. "You remind me of him," he said softly. She looked at him, curious. "Of who?" "My father," Thor said. "Odin fought for order, but he never understood balance. You fight for something more." Diana smiled faintly. "I fight for those who cannot. For those who've been silenced by fear." They stood in silence for a while, the stars above flickering strangely, like cracks forming in the night sky. Then Thor spoke again. "Doom will come. And he won't come alone." Diana turned toward him, eyes filled with unwavering resolve. "Then we'll meet him together." But even as she said it, a chill ran through the air. Thunder rolled across the heavens, not from Thor, but from something greater. And in the distance, the sky tore open once more. From within the rift emerged a figure draped in white, his face hidden behind a mask shaped like infinity itself. He radiated the same energy as Doom, only purer. More primal. Reed gasped. The Beyonder, he's returning. The impossible had happened. Diana's arrival had awakened the being whose power created Battleworld. And now, both Doom and the Beyonder were aware of her. Two gods, one world, and a warrior standing between them. The storm had only just begun. The sky over Battleworld burned. Lightning cascaded through the rift as the Beyonder descended, his form shifting, impossible to fully comprehend. Every soul, from the lowliest soldier to Dr. Doom himself, felt his return like an electric pulse through reality. For the first time, the God King trembled. From his throne in Castle Doomguard, Doom stared up at the shimmering light. "This world is mine," he growled. "No being, not even its creator, will take it from me." He summoned his armor, every rune and plate infused with the stolen power of the Beyonders. The mask sealed with a hiss. "Prepare the God Engine," he commanded. "Tonight, Battleworld belongs to Doom alone." Meanwhile, on the ground below, Wonder Woman felt the surge of cosmic energy flood through the air. It was unlike anything she had faced before, chaotic, infinite, divine. Even she could barely stand against its current. Thor and Captain Marvel shielded their eyes as the Beyonder's form solidified above them. He spoke, not in words, but in thoughts that rippled through their minds. You do not belong here, daughter of Olympus. Your existence fractures the weave of my creation. Diana stepped forward, voice steady against the thunder of gods. Then your creation was flawed to begin with. For the first time in eternity, the Beyonder hesitated. Her defiance intrigued him. But their conversation was cut short. A beam of emerald energy shot across the horizon, Doom's arrival. He appeared in a flash of fire and steel, cape billowing like a storm. Behind him, the very air crackled under the pressure of his power. Step aside, Beyonder, Doom declared. You had your reign. Now it's mine. The Beyonder's voice echoed across reality. You dare challenge your maker? Doom raised his hands, and the god engine roared to life. A massive construct hidden beneath Battleworld's surface began to awaken, its energy spiraling upward, feeding directly into Doom's armor. I am no longer your creation, Doom said. I am your successor. And with that, the battle of gods began. The heavens split as Doom and the Beyonder clashed, their powers colliding like galaxies colliding in fury. Reality twisted. Continents crumbled. Every corner of Battleworld shook as lightning and raw energy tore through the skies. Diana could feel the world dying. Each pulse from their battle unraveled existence itself. She turned to Reed Richards, whose instruments were flickering with static. If this continues, he said grimly, everything, every realm, every soul, will be wiped out. Diana looked toward the sky, eyes filled with determination. Then I end it. Thor stepped forward. You can't fight both. Even I would fall before one of them. Then help me reach them, she said simply. Her tone left no room for argument. And so, with Mjolnir in hand and the lasso of truth glowing like the sun, the two ascended into the storm. They rose higher and higher, through lightning and shattered fragments of space. Ahead of them, the Beyonder hurled a storm of energy at Doom, who countered with a blast of god fire strong enough to shatter dimensions. The shockwave nearly threw Diana from the sky, but Thor caught her arm, steadying her. She met his eyes. Now, together, they dove straight into the heart of the chaos. As they reached the epicenter, Diana hurled her lasso, not at Doom, not at the Beyonder, but into the very light connecting them. The golden rope pulsed, glowing brighter and brighter until it fused with the energy itself. The storm froze. Both gods turned their gaze upon her. What are you doing? Doom thundered. Something you've both forgotten, Diana said, her voice calm amid the apocalypse. The truth. The lasso of truth extended, glowing with divine power. It reached into both beings, showing Doom the man he once was, showing the Beyonder the emptiness of his endless creation. They saw themselves through her eyes. Not as gods, but as men, flawed, frightened, lost in their own hunger for control. The energy between them began to collapse inward, the storm dimming to a radiant white. Diana was at its center, her armor burning with light, her spirit blazing brighter than any star. On the ground, Reed's instruments went wild. She's stabilizing it, he whispered. She's merging their power, rewriting the core of Battleworld itself. Black Panther stepped forward, awe in his voice. She's binding truth to creation. But even as the chaos calmed, one last surge of power erupted. Doom, in desperation, broke free from the lasso's pull. He launched forward, striking with everything he had left. Diana caught his gauntlet mid-swing. Their eyes met, his burning with rage, hers glowing with compassion. You could have been more, she said quietly. Then, with one final strike, she shattered his mask. The world went silent. When the light faded, the sky was clear. The Beyonder had vanished, his essence scattered into the fabric of reality. Doom lay unconscious, his armor cracked, his god had gone. And Battleworld was reborn. but not as it was before. The fragments had fused together, not through Doom's control or Beyonder's will, but through truth. The people remembered their lives, their worlds, their choices. Reed approached Diana as she knelt beside Doom's fallen form. "You saved us," he said softly. "You saved everything." She shook her head. "No. I only reminded your world what it means to be free." Thor smiled faintly. "And what of you, Diana? This world is not yours." She looked toward the horizon, where cracks of light shimmered, gateways to the restored multiverse. "My fight isn't over. Somewhere, another world still needs me." She turned, lifting into the air, her armor glinting in the dawn. Her voice carried through the wind. "Tell them, the truth always finds a way." And with that, she vanished into the light, returning to the stars from which she came. In the aftermath, Battleworld endured. No longer a prison of Doom's making, but a sanctuary of survivors, each from a different world, united by one warrior's defiance. They spoke of her name with reverence and awe. The Amazon who defied gods, the warrior who ended tyranny, the goddess who changed everything. And somewhere beyond reality, in the silent halls of Olympus, the gods themselves whispered her name with pride. Wonder Woman, the truth that even worlds could not destroy.